Oops. Oh, look at my kitty. Look at my kitty's costume. Hi, I'm Leathur Rokk. This is my tabby boy. Happy Halloween and welcome to my live stream. You see what kitty's wearing. And I want to put you down now. So, hopefully in a few minutes we'll have Cassie. She's got a little costume. Apparently, Cassie and Tabby Boy got into a little kerfuffle down the hallway and right in front of my brother's room. And he heard that, and he heard a hissing sound, and he heard a growling sound. Next thing you know, he opened up his door, and she ran in, and then Tabby Boy went in after her. So Tabby Boy is back. Oh, and my brother was making fun of Cassie's little outfit and teasing her for her little dress. And hopefully, you're going to see that real soon. And if you recognize that shirt, mine, Tabby Boy's wearing. I've worn that before, certainly. I'm going to put this down. I got most of my wish order that I ordered is about like a month ago. However, this is the only mask that arrived. And so at least I have a face mask to run around for my birthday. But I was actually hoping there's some Trump masks, and there were some filters that were supposed to that you can fit in. This mask has a pocket. But even this flimsy thing is kind of uncomfortable to breathe in. I'll be honest with you. And I'm just hoping that this makeup isn't going to come off on it. I even stopped it at a certain point so that not too much would come off inside of it. Anyway, it's white, so how bad can white face be? Okay, I'm gonna. Whew, these things are not fun to breathe in. I wish Cassie. Oh, Tabby Boy totally slipped out of it. That bastard. Oh, I wish he'd get done with Cassie so you guys can see her. It's good when the cats agree to play dressed up, you know? I'm going to put this in the laundry. Oh, Tabby Boy. Oh, yeah, all right. He disappeared. Tabby Boy went down the hall. He's like, see, if I hadn't grabbed him for the turnaround, he wouldn't have been here. He would have just said, you know what? Fuck you. And he would have left. I'm bringing this close to my back wall so we can talk. And because the lighting's better, I wanted to show off this makeup. It's a very simple makeup, just using 2 eyeshadows and white face makeup. That's it. And this dress, I want to talk to you about this dress. I have had this since Hollywood. And here, let me back up some. It's long, if you couldn't already tell. Let me. Back up. It's me below the knee. It has shoulder pads. It is big. I thought it fit me tighter at one time. It's really, and I forget the name of the designer. Maybe later on this I'll unzip it some and I'll show you the tag. In my storage in Los Angeles, I have a pair of pumps that are, I'm sure, a total match. The same green They must be from the 1950s. They have stiletto heel, the kind that's really, really, really tiny, that you definitely wouldn't wear on the boardwalk because it would get stuck. And the toes are real pointy, and they have these metal taps on them so that I guess to preserve the soles. And they just are so dressy, and I'm sure it will hurt like hell after 2 hours. But anyway, they're in Los Angeles. They're not doing me a damn bit of good, but they would be a total match for this. And this hat here has a story behind it. I found it on the floor of Bally's Wild Wild West 2 Halloweens ago. And it's missing it's missing two of the three balls. And I could have taken this off, but you know what? So even if I never get the replacement sewn on, and I bet I do from dead cat toys. My dead cat toys, I mean cat toys that have gotten really um, grungy and whatever, and I could maybe get rid of most of it but save the ball. That's what I mean. I don't mean toys for my dead cats, because I mean just because a cat dies doesn't mean I have to get rid of their toys. Come on, So I mean, technically, yes, I do have toys left over for Ace. So if you want to be technical, those are dead cat toys. But well, I digress. So let's talk about more dead things, because after all, this is Halloween, and let's talk about dead shoes. Now, I believe that the clothes that we wear, when you hold on to them for a while, they become special because they contain energies from the memories that you make in them, or maybe you got them from people that are special in your life. A lot of the clothes that I wear, certain special things, I associate them with certain people, especially like items that were given to me by people I like. Okay, take this red dress here. This red dress was given to me by somebody in Los Angeles, like I consider my best friend, and sequins on it. And I can think of the times when I worn it. I went out one New Year's Eve with my father, before I quit drinking. And I'm thinking some of the places that we went to here in town, we have pictures from that. And so I think about that. I think my first Halloween after I came back here after 9/11, I believe that I wore that. So, oh, I was thinking of, by the way, it's wearing this shirt, which looks bluer on camera than it is. This is actually purple, a nice, bright, beautiful purple. I was thinking of maybe layering this underneath this dress for my birthday. I mean, if the temperature is going to be as obnoxiously cold as it seems like it's going to be, I have changed what I thought I was going to wear 3 different times because the weather kept on changing their forecasts and everything. And now I think it is. I'm not sure what the temperature is right now. I'm guessing like 37, 38 degrees or something. Last night, the low was supposed to go down to 31. We finally turned on the furnace, the first time the heat's been on all year. So that means everybody had to clear off their radiators. And I'm assuming nobody has any windows open down the hall. That's kind of ridiculous. This place is drafty as it is. In the summertime, it's like a furnace. In the wintertime, it's really. And the thing is, now she wants me to close the door to the grow room where those plants are. And the thing is that the radiator in that room hardly ever works. And we tried bleeding the radiators. So if I close that window, the plants in it will die. I've got tomato plants. You saw them. The little baby tomato on it is real cute. It's like this size. There's a sweet pepper plant in there. There's those lentil plants. There's that squash plant. Now with squash, you're really never sure what you're going to get. And I discovered a problem with the flowers. You can batter dip them and fry them Southern style. But the problem is there's all these spines, these sharp little needles that are on the leaves of squash plants, all kinds of squash, cucumbers, whatever, zucchini, you will find them. And say you do want to take the flour and batter dip it and fry it, you have to cut away. You don't want to get those things in your mouth. You have to cut them off of the flour before you have enough. And then by then you have just these scraps of flour. It's really hard to, I don't know how they do the whole thing. I was going to even watch some videos on it and learn how to do it. But I was trying to cut off the spiny things from flowers from our own garden plot. I say ours, I'm talking about myself and all the neighbors that are growing things over there, where the kale is that I help myself to. I cooked that with some chicken broth last night. So anyway, do you like these two layered together? It is so cold, and I find the cold weather to be so depressing. And when you look at everything dying and you see that people can't hang out as much, it didn't seem to change what the drug dealers were doing today. I saw this guy that had his wallet out and he was counting. He had all this cash right under my window, and he was surrounded by 3 or 4 people and peeling off loads 120 after another. I mean, my God. And this is the end of the month. They were doing really well. So it seems pretty quiet out there now. It really does. So, you see my little tiara? Oh, don't want to. So I put some more push pins on the walls in the hallway and in the grow room so that as I make up outfits, I can just hang them on places, and that way it'll get them away from the bulk of here, and it will also take away from the weight inside the poles in my closets, because that's a real pain. I'm really afraid those poles are going to snap and then all these clothes are going to fall on the floor, and that's not going to be good. So, I almost questioned the taste of wearing a bright red sequin thing during the pandemic. I really did think about that. But then I thought, well, you know what? My birthday is going to be on election day, and election day is a patriotic holiday, and red is one of our flag colors, so that makes it not inappropriate. Plus, I think on birthdays you should be able to wear anything you damn well please. Anyway, right? And again, if your birthday happens to be on election day, why shouldn't you wear something that's patriotic? So, but I was thinking setting aside outfits in other colors besides the red and the purple. No, I didn't really. Uh, I really think that's going to be it. This thing here can be layered on top of a long sleeve top. So, and you could literally put any color skirt underneath this, or you could put pants underneath it if you really wanted to. But I hope it's not going to be that cold. I have no idea. Well, this is almost like a New Year's Eve kind of thing, though. And again, if you're going to be indoors with nice climate control and stuff. And yet, crowds are dangerous, so what's the point? This whole thing, how COVID's treating the club scene now, it's really starting to get weird because I noticed that they're starting to have club type things open. Any place that has a parking lot, lately these places have been using them and they're having live bands, different places. I saw some ads for places in Brigantine. That's the next city up on the island, just north uh, east of us, just on the coast. And so they're having outdoor seating, and they're having bands play, and I guess that, and they're enforcing mask wearing of some kind. Oh, on the subject of masks, I see that they are selling this thing on Wish that is an oval that fits between your nose and your mouth, and it goes across like this. And what it does is it holds your mask out so that you have more space to breathe. You feel less like you're asphyxiating yourself, and it doesn't rub against your lipstick, so you won't have that smearing. And I believe that's going to be the next thing I'm going to order on Wish, because that would be really practical. And it seems to me now, I'm reading that we may be wearing masks through 2022. So I guess for the time being, we better get used to it. And even though this is nowhere near the protective ability of my N95, this has a space for filters, and I'm going to try to trick it out to make it as protective as possible. Because, yeah, I don't want to look like a duck for my birthday. And it's not going to go with what I'm wearing. And even though I'm a little nervous about the idea that I'm going to be wearing something that's not as safe, and if I'm going to be out in a public indoor place, I want to be as safe as possible because I know that I'm taking a chance. On the other hand, I think about that I don't do this all the time. I don't do it casually. And what am I going to do? Be depressed on my birthday? That's kind of, I'd like to think, unreasonable too. When I think of other people I know who have not deprived themselves of a social life, they've gone out and done all kinds of things like staying in hotel rooms and going to parties, gone to many parties actually. You know, I think that I should not be a hermit and make myself not live, even though, yes, I'm being safe as possible and reading or hearing, rather, wasn't reading them, hearing the statistics day by day. It's getting really scary. I've been taking notes, and I didn't want to do like every other day a local COVID update. Anybody that has access to radio or a newspaper or something, you can find the same information. You could check online, but it went from having negligible local impact to more and more cases. And if you're looking at the state itself, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read to you some of what they said. Now, for last weekend, it says last weekend, over 2,000 new COVID cases were in the state of New Jersey. The Galloway Public Library has been closed because one of the teachers came down with COVID. And that was the highest in New Jersey. That was the highest new cases since May 6th. This was last weekend. And if you didn't know already, the Atlantic County testing closest to Atlantic City is on Dolphin Avenue in Northfield. A lot of these testing places are drive-through, so if you don't have a car, I don't know. And a lot of these places, they want you to have symptoms before they're going to test you. But I don't know whether that doesn't seem right. But then again, I could see where they're afraid of people who even suspect they may be exposed going in a line with other people and stuff. But why don't they just offer free COVID testing in places like Walgreens, where I got my flu shot? That way, people of any age, especially the most vulnerable, could go and get tested. And with this test they have out here, you find out in less than 15 minutes. So, I mean, I didn't wait like that for my uh, to get my flu shot. That was a quite quick experience. I was a little bit nervous because I saw 3 or 4 people sitting around in chairs, and I chose not to sit I chose to just stand and walk around and look at the boxes in the aisles and stuff, you know. So, oh, getting back to the COVID-19 statistics. Now, you know that Governor Murphy extended the New Jersey state of emergency for yet another month because of the rise in cases. And also in Hamilton Township in Atlantic County, there were 33 new COVID cases as of Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. So this is one back away. Now, if today's the 31st, this is only Tuesday, October 27th, 2020. Atlantic County had 33 new cases and one death. Egg Harbor Township had 11 cases. But I heard the statistics yesterday on the radio. I didn't take notes. I knew that I wasn't sure that I was going to discuss this at length on video. I missed too many days of statistics. I overheard something else on the radio that they're again increasing their infection rate by, I forget what the percentage is, but so let's talk about some dead shoes. I have shoes that I set aside. I wanted to get fixed. There was a tailor here in town, and there was a shoe repair guy. He lived actually, or he was out in Pleasantville. And then there was an ad we saw for quite a while of a shoe repair guy down in either Ventnor or Margate, I forget. And recently we found out they no longer are doing business. Now don't laugh at what I'm about to show you. These boots I found on a sidewalk sale at a shoe store on Atlantic Avenue. And it was love at first sight. I'm actually pleased to see that the actual color on here is ringing true. Look at these. These are over the knee boots. Don't focus on the damage. Focus on they feel so comfortable. You can play with the tops on. You can either have them go to almost the thigh. You can fold them down if you want. Just, I can't stress how comfortable they are. But look at the work that would need to be done. You've got this damage on the heels. You've got this area. I don't want to throw them out. I've held on to them for I don't know how long. The front, they got that air conditioning. I can only imagine what it would take to fix them. I could buy a whole new pair for that. And it's a shame because I don't want to get rid of them. I was wondering if maybe I could just cut off the top and do something with them. If they would still stand up if I put them or on my legs on top of whatever my other footwear was. I really hesitate to throw them out. I have a lot of memories of dancing in them. They have that high-heeled look without actually being high-heeled. And because they're suede and they're soft, the toes, even though they're tapered, they don't feel like tight shoes. Here's another pair of shoes that I am very sorry to see go, and I really don't know that I can fix. This, I lost one of the heels. These pairs I recently threw out. They have a teal version of these. And I used to wear these to boogie nights. I wore these to Kiss Expos. I have seen so many dance floors on these shoes. They had nice padding in the insteps, and I also stuck those padded inserts that you you can find on Avon catalogs, and a lot of places sell them. And they have adhesive tape on them, and you stick them inside, and it makes them nice and bouncy when you wear them. And this is one of the most comfortable kinds of shoes for me because the toes aren't crowded in, and they're really, and this makes you can kind of rock on them. You have to be careful not to get that sensation of falling down a flight of stairs, though. I would have had to fix the straps, and I wonder if nail polish wouldn't just chip on there. But if you got, say, color matched a really good shade and just fixed all those areas, and then maybe use black nail polish to fix the edges here. But having to go and get a new heel for this, and those heels, I noticed the smaller the heel is for to fix a pair of high heel shoes, the more expensive they are. The tiniest little bits of plastic. I remember this from when I would get my shoes fixed in Los Angeles. I had a shoe repair guy. He was the man, and his wife was the tailor. They were called Rothies, and they were in Hollywood. And they always did my shoes. And something tells me they're both dead now. But they were really nice people from some European country. They had the accent. They're the kind of business. They had framed pictures of the local wannabe actors uh, on their window or underneath near where the cash register is. And I got to being able to have my headshots there. A lot of the actors in Hollywood, the patronized businesses and things ended up having our pictures, and it's something, and it's really cool. And then sometimes these places they had the stars actually come in, and they're autographed and stuff. So, but these I think are past the point of doing anything about. It's just a shame. I think this came off. I don't know where it came off. One of the casinos, I'm pretty sure. So here's another pair of shoes that I really want to fix. These I got at a flea market called Columbus Flea Market in central New Jersey. They had a fire a couple of years ago, and this is a big, sprawling, laid out place that had a beauty supply store and all these different kind of businesses. Oh, and they would have these organizations would organize these bus trips. A lot of times, they would pick up people that lived in the senior citizen disabled high rises, all these different places here in the city. I would go with my friends that live in the Ritz. You would get on this bus and it would take you up to the flea market. And you go with like a laundry cart. Shopping was real good. They had Amish market where you could get all kinds of fresh breads and all kinds of meats and vegetables, and they made pies, cherry pies, peach pies, blueberry pies, cherry pies, all kinds of breads from European countries. They had a market there. They had a food court there. They had a guy that sold ice cream, all kinds of fancy, some soft serve stuff, but they had the hard packed stuff. And they had this pistachio ice cream, which is my mother's favorite, and I love it too. Oh man, that's the thing is when you go there and you get on one of those buses, you would wait. Do that's the last thing you do. Get a rest of your shopping, load up your cart, and just before they made a call for you to get back on the bus, you go to the ice cream thing. Oh, yeah, I got hair dye there for my mother. I got eyeshadow for myself. And skincare too. They have a flag store, but they had a fire, and I don't know how much of it got damaged and destroyed. Uh, and I haven't been there since. So look at this poor shoe. I got to wear these out dancing. And we have Gorilla Glue. That's supposed to be good for shoes. Unfortunately, we finally opened it. We had it for over 2 years. We finally opened it. And it was all one solid rubber, congealed, useless mass of nothing. If I had it, I would see about fixing this. These shoes have a great high heel look, but the platform is so thick that they don't feel like high heels. And they were great. And this label says Club Zone. That looks like it says Crap Zone. Oh, it's, yeah, Club Zone. I want to show you something I do with my shoe boxes so that I don't forget the memories I make in my shoes. This is from, I'm going to read some of this to you. It says, Saturday, September 15th, 2012, Borgata, Kansas, King's X. And so apparently I'd worn those shoes to see Kansas. And here's my outfit. It's a yellow skull graphic t-shirt, yellow mini skirt with polka dots, fuchsia and black stripy stockings, yellow fuchsia black zebra stripe socks, yellow rubber bracelets, yellow earrings, yellow fishnet gloves. Okay. It seems to me that I would try to wear yellow shoes with something like that. Oh, you know what? This is not for these shoes. This box is for my orange booties. Okay, since I described that for you, I have to show you these shoes. Okay, where are you? All right. See, now these need some fixing up. If I could find a marker this exact color. It's so easy to screw up though and get dark ring around there. I've worn these on photo shoots. This is a real leather upper. Another kind of heel that I don't want to walk on the boardwalk, even though I have done photo shoots around the Tropicana in these shoes. My hair was all in the cornrow braids and things. I'm thinking of doing some braids again, not all over my head, but just some in front. I found some beads in the hallway when I was looking for things that had been missing for a while, which is how I ended up finding that eyeshadow palette. I was looking for some of my MAGA hats. I have not been able to find any of my MAGA hats for so long now, and I know I've been. It's ridiculous. I know that they have to be here. And I looked in the back. I looked in the hallway. I looked everywhere. I thought, maybe they're under my bed somewhere. But I looked at I'm afraid that the more I'm digging things apart, I'm making more messes, and that's not good for anybody. So, thumbtack on the floor. I don't want to step on it. I don't want the cats to step on it. So yeah, you see why I'm gonna hate to see these shoes go. I want to still see if I can get a decent enough of a glue job on it, whether it would be worth it getting another thing of Gorilla Glue or actually finding a shoe guy and fixing them. Because look at the condition of the heels otherwise. The heels don't need to be replaced. They just need to be glued. I can see having a little bit of glue on this too to make it more comfortable. And I would even invest maybe in another one of those padded things like I had on the higher heels. I don't even really think that's too necessary because it's not a steep hill. You see maybe a little bit more glue in here. So I really hesitate to get rid of them. Now, one of the things that I have that I thought that I could use to maybe temporarily do something to fix those boots so that I could actually wear them once or twice without them look like raggy and stuff. Look at this duct tape. This is a roll I got at the dollar store up in Central Pier. It's 10 feet long, and I was wondering if, and I know it's obviously not the same shade of purple, it's a bluer purple, but I was wondering if I could cut just the tiniest little bit and cover this area. Now I know that I still can't disguise the wear in the heel, but I'm thinking when people look at a person and what they're wearing, even if they size them up, even if their heads go head to toe, how much are they going to notice if the shoe's looking a little ragged? If other parts of the other aspects of the shoe are really dramatic and beautiful. I think if I was noticing and I loved everything else, I don't think I would notice, things that are down on the ground. And certainly the later it goes on the day, the more people are going to be having alcohol in them, and you're not going to notice those kind of details anyway, right? So, but then on the other hand, I'm thinking, do I want to walk around looking like I'm crazy or like I'm a bum or something? People are going to pick up on certain things that look unkempt. That's certainly not the impression I'm going to want to make. So I'm thinking if I cut off some of the tape and cover just the tip on the shoe, maybe that would make it not look like, you know, I don't know if there's any way I could disguise the heel though. And that would be another way to keep yourself warm too, with a pair of comfortable boots like that. Or I could go and have them resold and really make an investment in them. And I don't know whether it would be worth, whether they would be able to affix the top with the air conditioning bit to a new sole. I just don't know whether the cost would be worth it. I could possibly buy another flat, comfortable purple suede over the knee boots, but they're broken in and they're comfortable. And if I try, if I take the chance of ordering shoes online, just like clothes online, if it's not something stretchy, you're not absolutely sure it's going to fit. And even sizes aren't always universally accepted. I read the size charts very carefully, but I'm afraid of throwing money on something that's not going to. I'm waiting a month for it, and then it might not even fit. So, yeah, those are my dead shoes. They say that this is the time of year when the veil between the worlds is thinnest, and people who are open to it can contact those who have passed on. Sometimes there's a radio show called Coast to Coast AM. It used to be the main guy that would interview people on it. His name was Art Bell, and I don't know if he's still alive. But George Norrie has been the host for some years now, and it used to be every night, every Halloween night, people would call in and they would give ghost stories. So I would imagine that that's probably what he's going to be doing tonight. And I understand that it's so hard to get on those phone lines that they have people that sign up on their website. They have a very extensive, very complicated website. I think it's coasttocoastam.com or something. I haven't been on it in years. I mean, by years, I mean like 4 or 5 computers ago. It had a whole lot of data, different kinds of videos and things, multimedia experience, and it crashed different computers I had, so it wasn't a site that I went on frequently. So tonight should be interesting. Earlier today, the same radio station that plays on WOND 1400 AM dial had a replay of George Orwell's H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, the radio show that starred George Orwell, stars Orson Welles. It was a radio show that was on the radio, scared a lot of people who didn't always know that it was just a dramatic reading of this famous, well, it wasn't famous until then, this short story about an alien invasion. And they announced in the beginning that it was a Halloween present. It was this story, but a lot of people didn't hear it when they announced it, and they thought it was a real Martian. And there was a really interesting program about it that they played on the radio. The backstory of it, that turns out how the people got more people didn't not as many people listened to it as people think did. Excuse me. And the whole story was put out by one of the New York City newspapers that went and claimed that more people were listening to it than actually had, and they claimed that there were a bunch of people that jumped out of windows and stuff because they really thought the Martians were coming. And they said not that many people were listening in because there were other things on other radio stations to listen to that day. And television hadn't been invented, I'm sure. No. But anyway, other people were doing other things, and not as many people listened to it as we were led to think. So, but the bottom line is that what started the whole hysteria, or the reports to the hysteria, was fake news, and which just goes to show things have not really changed all that much. I wish that Cassie would show up. Don't you think it's weird that she has not made an appearance yet? It's 1:01 a.m. I'm sure she's got to be around here somewhere. Let's look for her. Let's look for Cassie. All right. Where's that cat? I don't understand. I can't tell you how many times I've been ready to looking for a cat all night. Couldn't find him. Then when I was finally done filming, then 15 minutes later, that cat shows up. Oh, I don't know where she is. I was hoping to show you to her. Nope. No kitty. Unless she's in here, I don't think she would be. No. Sorry about that. You don't have Cassie. Tabby Boy's under my bed. He's not going to be exploited anymore. Well, maybe in a few minutes he will. If he wants me to add to his food bowl or something. Did you see the full moon out there? It's a blue moon. Blue moon is when you have two full moons in the same month. We watched it out the kitchen window. It's so cool how big it looks when it's low in the sky, and as it goes higher, it gets smaller looking. Things do sound kind of peaceful out there. So That's nice, but I can only assume that it's going to get louder later on because that's just, it's a Saturday night, and there's going to be people coming back from some of the clubs. There's supposed to be some bunch of costume contests tonight, different places. I don't know if any of them are indoors or they're all outdoors, but uh, I don't. It just doesn't seem like people are taking this virus very seriously. I'm saying this not just talking about what I see out my window, but just judging by what I saw when I went out last weekend when I was on Tennessee Avenue at the that Tennessee Avenue beer hall and everything. It was a nice venue. It looked like everybody who worked there was doing what they could to make it as safe as possible. But still, when you have a big chair that has two long benches on either side of it where people can't help it but sit right next to each other and not wearing masks when they're drinking or eating, and all the talking in between sips and bites and stuff. And it seems like the only people that wore masks consistently were people of a certain age. The people that sat closest to the stage were a lot of the people that were friends with the performers, people that I knew that were Malcolm's friend, for instance. And then this one person that I thought was a waitress on roller skates turned out she was the singer of Quasimodo's Bride. Uh, I still don't understand why they did one song and then they said they were going to come back in 15 minutes. And I guess that maybe that was the world's shortest sound check. But I thought they were a band that did originals, and it turned out they were going to do just a set of covers. And I frankly was not in the mood for an all-purpose cover band. There was no reason for me to hang out. The more you're in a public area, there was technically a crowd. That's more concentrated exposure, and I didn't want to take any chances. I was only there to see Malcolm anyway. So, oh, look what I got in the mail from Alley Cat Allies. They sent me a catalog last week before last. I didn't open it yet because, there's no need to open up something until you need it, right? So I got 2 cards in the mail already, and I'm not, or whatever they are, and I'm not opening them until November 3rd, Election Day. So, you know what? I hope I didn't do what I just thought I did. That was really not smart. If that was too close a look, I may have to just take this down after this viewing that you guys are doing. Anyway, okay. I think I'm going to close now. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. I try to keep the Tuesday, Thursday to Saturday schedule, but we'll see how it goes. Happy Halloween. Talk to you soon. Bye.